Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my first live broadcast lesson. Today we are going to cover statistics with you. All right, let's get started. Before getting into the statistic topic, I'm going to solve do now question with you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get started. We have a do now question. The functions f of x minus 3x squared minus 1 and g of x is equal to 4x plus 8 are combined by subtracting g from f. Which of the following statements about f minus g are true? As you remember that, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the operation of functions. So we know that f minus g of x can be written f of x minus g of x. We know what is the expression of fx. If we substitute negative 3x squared minus 1 into the f of x, minus into the parentheses, we are going to substitute 4x plus 8. If we distribute negative sign into the parentheses, you are going to get negative 3x squared minus 1 minus 4x minus 8. After that, if you combine like terms, you will get that negative 3x squared minus 4x minus 9. This is your expression f minus g of x. After that, we are going to select the correct multiple choices. To be able to understand the domain and the range, I need to graph this function. As you remember that negative 3x squared minus 4x minus 9 is a quadratic function. So to be able to graph the quadratic function, the first thing you need to do is finding vertex. Let's find the vertex. To be able to find the x-coordinate of vertex, ladies and gentlemen, we know that negative b over 2a. Okay, what is a and what is b? Remember the general form of quadratic function. Ax squared plus bx plus c. From here, you can understand that a is negative 3, b is negative 4, and c is negative 9. Let's continue. If we substitute negative 4 into the b, you will get negative times negative 4 over 2 times negative 3. After that, if we distribute this, you will get negative 4 over 6. If you simplify this, you will get negative 2 over 3. This is x-coordinate of vertex. Do you have any question? If you have any question, you can write, and then I can try to answer it. I hope so far so good. Let's continue. Now we need to find y-coordinate of the vertex. How we are going to find the y-coordinate of the vertex? You need to substitute x-coordinate into the expression. Let's do it. Y is equal to negative 3 times negative 2 over 3 squared minus 4 times negative 2 over 3 minus 9. If you calculate this, ladies and gentlemen, you will get that negative 3 times 4 over 9 minus 4 times, if you distribute negative 4 into the parentheses, you will get 8 over 3 minus 9. When you simplify 3 and 9, you will get negative 4 over 3 plus 8 over 3 minus 9. If you combine this, you will get the answer 4 over 3 minus 9, which is equal to negative 23 over 3. This number is your y coordinate of the vertex. If you know the x and y coordinates, we can graph our function. Let's do it. If you, by the way, this is not drawn scale, so please excuse me. This is negative 2 over 3, and this is negative 23 over 3. If you connect those points, this is the vertex, and we know, so you can also understand that your graph is going to be upward or downward by looking at the sign of the A. Your sign of A is negative. This is the reason your graph is going to be downward. So now I can answer those multiple choices. As you see here, the domain is all the real numbers. Domain is all possible x values. As you see here, you can substitute all the x values. So we can say A is correct. The range is all the real numbers. When you look at the range is y coordinate. What is the range, ladies and gentlemen? The range is the y values is less than or equal to negative 23 over 3. All the values less than negative 23 over 3 is your range. So this is the reason all the real numbers is not the correct answer. Look at the C. The range is y is greater than or equal to 9. Is that true? No, we already found that y is going to be less than or equal to negative 23 over 3. This is not the answer as well. It is a linear function. Is that the linear function? No. This is a quadratic function. This is true as well. So this is do now question. Next. As I told you, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to learn statistics. To be able to understand the statistics well, we need to get familiar to some words. For example, cluster means a group of data. Gap means space or no data. IQR, which means that interquartile range is, you can calculate interquartile range subtracting first quartile from the third quartile. We are going to learn this in detail later today. And peak means highest data point. Outlier is extremely high or low numbers. All right, first we are going to start with mean. How can I understand, or how do I find the mean? To be able to understand the mean, there are two steps we need to apply. First, as you see here, these are the data. To be able to find the mean, you need to add all the data values. So 80 plus 60 plus 100. If you add them up, you are going to get 240. Second step is divide the sum by the number of values in data set. How many data there are? There are 3 data. If you divide them, 240 divided by 3, 80 is going to be your mean. Next. What is the mean of each data set? As you see here, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to add all these data and divide by number of data. If you add them up, 24 plus 27 plus 30 plus 31 plus 33 plus 35. When you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 data. If you divide by 6, you will get your mean is 180 divided by 6 is 30. So your mean is 30. Next, if you add them up, all the given data, you are going to get that. So you are going to understand how many data there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If you add them up, you will get 210 divided by 7, and your mean is 30 as well. The last one is, when you add all the given data, 33 plus 9 plus 34 plus 28 plus 41, and divide by number of the data set is 5, then you will get 145 divided by 5, which is equal to 29, and this is your mean. Next one. Next one is median, ladies and gentlemen. How we are going to find the median? To be able to find the median, ladies and gentlemen, first you need to order the given data from the list to greatest. When you look at those data, which one is the least one? 150. When you order them from the list to greatest, 150, 160, next is 175, 180, and 225. After that, you need to get the value in the middle. You need to find the value in the middle. The number in the middle is, what is that? 175. So 175 is your median. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to draw your attention here. How many data there are? There are 5, which means that there are odd amount of the data. And what if I have even amount of data? So how am I going to find the number in the middle? Let's see that. In the next question, look at here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 data, which means that even amount of data. So what am I going to do? First step, order the data from least to greatest. Let's do it. If you order them from least to greatest, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to get 50, 65, 65, 95. And then what am I going to do? You need to get 2 values in the middle. As you see here, there are 2 values in the middle is 65 and 65. Step 3, you need to find mean of these 2 values. 65 plus 65 divided by 2, which is equal to 65. And this is your median. When you have even amount of data, this is the steps we are going to apply. Next, we are going to learn mode. To be able to find the mode in the statistics, step 1, we need to order these given data from least to greatest. Which one is the least one? Is 4. After that, 5. The next is 5, and then 6, and the greatest one is 9. After ordering them, step 2, the mode is the values that occur most often. There may be one mode, more than one mode, or no mode. Can you please tell me which data is repeating itself more? Is 5. So 5 is your mode. Next. The next one is range. How we are going to find the range in statistics? Do you have any questions so far? Do you have any questions so far, ladies and gentlemen? If everything is clear, I will continue. Okay, let's do it. Let's continue. To be able to find the range, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to order these data from least to greatest as well. Which one is the least one? Which is 5. After that, 6, then 12, 34, and 16. Then, to be able to find the range, you need to determine which one is the greatest value, which one is the least value. As you see, 60 is the greatest value, and 5 is least value. To be able to find the range, you need to subtract smallest number from the greatest number. Then you will find the range. 60 minus 5, 55 is your range. I hope so far so good. Let's continue. In the second part of the range, in the second part of the statistics, we are going to learn the features of 3 types of data displays. In the statistic, generally, we are using 3 types of the data display. One of them is dot plot. What does that mean? Dot plot has dots. For each value in the data, it shows clusters of the data and outliers. And this is the display of dot plot. What about the histogram? A histogram do not show individual values, but show clearly the shape of the data, and the data are organized into intervals. This is so important. And we will determine those intervals, ladies and gentlemen. We will learn how we are going to determine in the question. And the bars shows the frequency or the number of times that the data within that interval occur. And this is how we are going to display histogram. The last one is box plots. Box plot shows the center, which means median, and spread of a distribution. A box plot does not show individual data, but summarizes the data using 5 key pieces of information: minimum, maximum, median values, and the first and the third quartile. Remember, in the beginning of the statistics, I told you, ladies and gentlemen, there are some key vocabularies you need to get familiar, and there was the interquartile range. So we can find interquartile range subtracting first quartile from the third quartile, and we will learn this, and this is going to be display. All right, let's get started from dot plot. Represent and interpret the data in a dot plot. Manuel plans to buy a new car with the gas mileage shown. To determine if the gas mileage of this car is good, he gathers data on the estimated city driving fuel efficiency in miles per gallon of several other cars. How does the fuel efficiency of the car he wants to buy compare to the fuel efficiency of the other cars he researched? First of all, ladies and gentlemen, these are the data that Manuel collected from his research of the other cars, of the gas mileage per gallon. We need to create a dot plot of the data by first drawing a number line. This is my number line, which shows city fuel efficiency mileage per gallon. And we are going to plot each value from the table as a dot above the number line. All right, let's do it. As you see here, one of the data is 25. So we described this as a one dot. The next 29, next 45, 26, 26, 28, 35, and go on. We are going to complete our data. After that, ladies and gentlemen, as you see here, there are clusters between the 25 to 28, which means that all these data positioned close together. So they clustered between the 25 to 28. So what we are going to conclude, the car Manuel plans to buy has about the same city fuel efficiency as comparable cars. So this is how we are using the dot plot in our real life. Next, example. A teacher gave her students a 10-point quiz. In the dot plot, each dot represents the score of a student. How can a teacher use the dot plot to help her summarize the scores? First of all, ladies and gentlemen, these dots represent one student score from the quiz. If you count all these dots, you can understand how many students took this test. When you count them, you will figure out there are 17 students took the test. All right. What is the grade most of the students got? How am I going to understand? As you see here, the cluster is positioned in 6, which means that how many students got the 6 from the 10-point quiz? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means that 6 students took 6 points from this test. And how many students got 9 from this test? There are only one student took 9 points from this test. All right, can I say that this class was successful from this quiz? According to my data, I cannot say that. Why? Because most of the students, the cluster is gathered between the 3 to 6. This is the reason this class didn't do well in this 10-point quiz. Next one. Janet surveyed a class of students. She recorded the number of hours that each student volunteered. This line plot shows the results of the survey. Ladies and gentlemen, as I told you before, each dot represents one student who volunteered how many hours. For example, when I ask you how many students volunteered 4 hours, you can tell me 1 student, because this dot or X represents number of students. As you see here, look at the part A. How many students did Janet survey? To be able to understand the number of students, we need to add all these X's. So let's add them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we can say that, ladies and gentlemen, there are 20 students Janet surveyed. There are 20 students Janet surveyed. Part B. What is the mean number of hours volunteered by students in the survey? Remember, what was the mean, ladies and gentlemen? You need to add all the given data and divide by number of data. So how am I going to gather, or how am I going to add all the data? Data here is number of hours. To be able to understand the total number of hours, I need to calculate it. How? How many students volunteered 0 hour? There are 1 student. So 0 times 1 is number of hour I will get from here. How many students volunteered 1 hour? 2 times 1, altogether they are volunteered 2 hours. And then we need to continue in this way. We are going to find there are 3 students volunteered 2 hours, and then we are going to calculate there are 4 students volunteered 3 hours, 1 student volunteered 4 hours, and then 1 student volunteered 5 hours, and 2 students volunteered 7 hours, and 2 students volunteered 8 hours. After that, divided by number of students. The number of students is 20. Remember that we are looking for the mean number of hours by students. This is so important. So that's why I am dividing by 20. So if you calculate this, ladies and gentlemen, 0 times 1 is 0, plus 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 times 2 is 6, plus 12, plus 4, plus 5. 6 times 3 is 18. And 14 plus 16 over 20. To be able to find the mean, ladies and gentlemen, we need to add those numbers. Let's do it. 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 12 plus 4 is 16, plus 5 is 21, and plus 18, plus 14, and plus 16. Then you will get 77. Am I right? Let's do it one more time. This is going to be 20, 29, 29 plus 18 plus 14 plus 16. Yes, you will get 77 over 20. Then 77 over 20 will be divided by 20 is going to be 3.85. 3.85 is your answer. Do you have any question? Do you have any questions so far? All right, I am going to show one more type of the question related to the data plot, and then we will continue. All right, this is the next question. The list shows the number of the books each student in your class read over the summer. Make a dot plot of the data. As you see here, these are the list shows the number of books. For example, how many students read 6 books? Just one student. So there's only one dot you need to plot. How many students read 2 books during the summer? 1, 2, 3 students. So 1, 2, 3 students. How many students read 4 books? 1, 2. How many students read 1 book? Just 1 student. How many students read 8 books? 1 student. And 1 student didn't read anything. So first of all, how many students I used to create this dot plot? When you count all the dots, you can understand that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 students I used to create this dot plot. All right, what is the most frequent amount of the books read this summer? Then you will tell me the most frequent amount of the books read is 2 books. Because there are 3 students read 2 books. How many students read at least 5 books over the summer? Ladies and gentlemen, at least means 5 or above. As you see here, when you count them, there are going to be 3 students read at least 5 books. There are 3 students. Read at least 5 books. Let's continue. Now, what is the median of this data? What was the data? You need to order all the given data from list to greatest, and then you need to get the number in the middle. To be able to find the median, you need to order number of the books. First of all, there are 1 student read 0 books. So 0 is one of my data. And then there are 3 students read 2 books, which means that 1 student read 2 books. Second student read 2 books, and third students read 2 books as well. After that, there are 2 students read 4 books. 1 student read 4 book. This is the second student read 4 books. After that, 1 student read 5 books, 1 student read 6 books, and 1 student read 8 books. After ordering my data from list the greatest, I need to get the number in the middle. How? Let's do it. First of all, how many data there are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There are 9 data. So what is the in the middle? The data in the middle. This is the data. This is the number in the middle. This means that your median is 4. You can also generate one more question. What is the mode of this question? What is the mode? Remember that the mode is the number which repeats itself more. As you see here, 2 is repeating itself 3 times. So your mode of this question is 2 as well. So this is dot plot. All right, next. I am going to teach, represent, and interpret the data in a histogram. Histograms are often used to represent data over the range of numbers. To create a histogram, first decide an appropriate interval for data. Example, a marketing team is about to launch a campaign for a new product that is targeted at adults aged 25 to 34 years. The team is researching the age range of viewers of a certain TV show to decide whether to advertise during the show. The data show the ages of random sample of 30 viewers of the show. Based on the findings, should the marketing team launch their campaign during this particular show? To be able to create your histogram, first you need to create a frequency table. Let's do it. The frequency table is going to be age range, and frequency. How am I going to decide the intervals? Ladies and gentlemen, by looking at these data, I will choose my age range 4 by 4, which means that the first range is 0, 4. The second is 5 to 9. Next is 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34. This is enough for me. Now let's find the frequency. When you look at this table between the 0 to 4, how many person there are? As you see here, there are 0. And 5 to 9, there are 0 as well. Now 10 to 14, how many people there are between the 10 to 14? When you look at here, 1, 2, there are 2 people. Now 15 to 19. 15 to 19, how many people there are? 15 to 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 10 people. What about the 2024? 2024, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as well. So there are 10 people as well between the age range 2024. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. After that, between the 25 to 29, how many people there are between this age range? 25 to 29. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what about the 30, 34? Between the 30, 34, how many people there are? 1, 2, 3. There are only 3. 1, 2, 3. And there's one more interval I need to create, ladies and gentlemen. And this interval is going to be 35 to 39. Why? Because there's one age is located, is positioned between this range. So that's why there's a 1. All right, now let's create my histogram. When you look at that, the highest frequency is 10. So that's why your highest frequency is going to be 10. So we can plot the points over here 2 by 2. This is 2. This is 4. This is 6, 8, and 10. This is frequency, and this is the age range. Age range. So this age range is going to be 04, 04, 5, 9, 5, 9, and 10, 14, 10, 14, 15, 19, and then 20, 24, 25, 29, 30, 34, and 35, 39. So what am I going to do? I'm going to create the bars now. Between the 0 to 4, the frequency is 0. 5 to 9, the frequency 0 is as well. So that's why I'm not going to graph any bar. Now 10 to 14, there are 2 people. So which means that the frequency between the 10 to 14, sorry, is going to be 2. 15 to 19, 15 to 19, 15 to 19, how many people there are? The frequency is 10. So between 10 to 19, your frequency is going to be 10. So this is going to be your bar. The age range 20 to 24, 20 to 24 is going to be 10 as well. So 20, 24. This is going to be 10 as well. And 25 to 29, 25 to 29, there are 4 people. So this is going to be your frequency, 29. So this is going to be your bar. And next is 30, 34, which is 3. 30, 34, which is 3 here. So this is going to be your bar, frequency bar. And the last one is 35 to 39. So this is going to be your frequency is 1. And this is going to be your histogram. This is the histogram, ladies and gentlemen. Next, this is another type of the question. You are helping a new social networking website company analyze the data. Use the histogram to answer the question. Number of friends that users have. How many users were surveyed? To be able to understand how many users surveyed, we need to check the frequency. When you look at the first bar, what is the frequency here? Let's say 22. When you look at the second bar, what is the frequency, ladies and gentlemen? Let's say 18. And when you look at the third bar, which is 5, when you look at the next bar, which is 10. And when you look at the last bar, let's say that this is 2. When you add all of them, you are going to get that 22 plus 18 plus 5 plus 10 plus 2. So 22 plus 18 is 40. This is going to be 17. 40 plus 17 is going to be equal to 57. So how many users were surveyed? 57. Now, second part. How many of the users surveyed have 150 friends or more? To be able to understand 150 or more, you need to check this range. So this bar is 10. This bar is 2. Altogether is 12 of the users surveyed have 150 friends or more. And this is your answer. The last part, how many of the users surveyed have between 0 and 49 friends? How many? To be able to understand the answer of this question, you need to check the first bar. So in the first bar, there are 22 users surveyed have between 0 and 49 friends. And this is the last part of the statistics. Represent and interpret data in a box plot. Students at a local high school organized a fundraiser for charity. Kathleen, the student council president, announces that more than half of the students raised over $50. The amount of money raised by a random sample of 24 students is shown. Do the data support Kathleen's claim? We are going to use the box plot. A box plot shows the distribution of data using a 5-number summary. Ladies and gentlemen, you can order the data set from the list the greatest. Then you can understand minimum value and maximum value. So there are 24 students over here. I'm going to order for you. Just a second. So to be able to order this, I am going to use, I'm sorry. This, here we go. Yes. So let's do it all together. First is, ladies and gentlemen, 25. 25. And then 25 again. And 26, 26, 27, 31. We are ordering all this given data from least to greatest. 32. After that, 32 again. Then 36, 38, 42, 42, 45, 45, 45, again, 48, then 49, 50, and 50. To be able, then 54, 54, 54, then 55, 59, and 68. To be able to make sure that I have a 24 students data, let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Perfect. So there are 24 data. So what is the minimum value? The minimum value is, ladies and gentlemen, 25. So this is minimum value. So 25 is your minimum value. What is the maximum value? Maximum value is 68. Now, I told you there are 5 number summary. One of them is minimum. Second one is maximum value. The third one is median. How am I going to find the median, ladies and gentlemen? Remember that median is the number in the middle. But how many amount of data there are? There are 24, which means that even amount of data, which means that I need to get the number in the middle. The number in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. These are the 2 numbers in the middle. I need to get it. So if you get this, you can add them up. Divide by 2 is going to give you median. So your median is, if you add them up, 45 plus 45 is 90 divided by 2 is 45 as well. I found the median as well. Now we need to find first quartile and the third quartile. How am I going to find the first and the third quartile? To be able to find the first quartile, you need to get left part of median. You need to find the median in the lower part. We call this lower part. Lower part means the left side of the median. In the left side of the median, what is your median in this lower part? So how many data there are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So your median is going to be the number in the middle. I'm telling one more time. To be able to find the first quartile, you need to look at lower part. Lower part means the left side of the median. After that, we need to find the median of lower part. So the median of the lower part is 32. Now I need to find the median in upper part. Here, the right side of median. This is called upper part. What is the median of the upper part? If you count this, there are going to be 12. There are going to be 12 data. This is the reason we need to get 2 numbers in the middle. 2 numbers in the middle is this. If you add them up and divide by 2, you will get third quartile. So first quartile 32, third quartile 54. So what am I going to do? Let's plot this 5 points first. This is, of course, you are going to create the number line. Let's create the number line first. And this is 25. I'm not going to plot all the points, all the data on the number line. I'm going to just choose those key points. So highest point is 68. After that, the median is here, 45. First quartile is 32. And the third quartile is 54. When you determine those points, ladies and gentlemen, we call it box whisker plot. We call it box whisker plot. What does that mean? you are going to create the whisker, and then we are going to connect those points with the minimum and maximum value. So this is called box plot method. Let me review one more time how to graph this. First, we found minimum value after ordering the data from the least to greatest. We found minimum value and then maximum value. Next, we found median. The median of this whole data is 45. And then we created first and the third quartile. How? By looking at lower and upper part of this data and finding their medians. I found their medians and I created my box plot. Now, let's go back to the question. Kathleen, she announces that more than half of the students raised $50 each. So, to be able to understand whether she is correct or not, we created this box plot. And the result is the box plot shows that based on the sample, the median amount of the money collected was $45. Since half of this population collected 45 or less than, because median is center. Less data, so that's why Kathleen's claim is not correct.